Saying I am sorry is hard for a lot of people. I admit it's hard for me too, but that doesn't give us a free pass not to apologize. You might have not noticed this, but a lot of our problems could easily be solved if one person just said sorry, especially in situations related to relationships and work. And if you have ever been in a position where you knew you were wrong but found it hard to admit it, this episode is definitely for you. Maybe you are a leader at work, a parent, a spouse, a partner, or someone people look up to. And apologizing just feels like it undermines your authority. I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to call you out for it. I'm not sorry. That's pride. You don't lose anything. And the truth is, knowing how to apologize is costing us more than we can afford to continue losing. So, today we are going to talk about why apologizing matters, the benefits it brings, the dangers of avoiding it, and how to do it effectively. Plus, I'll share some real life scenarios to help drive the point home. So, let's get into the episode. Welcome to the 5 to 9 job. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your 5 to 9 job with Raymond. Today, we are learning to say sorry and apologize. The idea for this pod came to me when I realized authorities rarely apologize. For example, and you guys are going to have to forgive me for this episode, I have very relatable examples, and unfortunately, they are not the best. But, for example, parents. Parents rarely apologize to kids, and then there are bosses at work that do the same. But the expectation is that the children or the subordinates and the employees are expected to somehow know that they are sorry through the subtle changes in behavior or indications without explicit mention of the intentions. Your boss starts to act in this way that says they are sorry without them saying sorry. Your parent buys you ice cream in a way that says they are sorry without saying sorry. I mean, look at the opposite. Politicians, celebrities. How is it that we have got them to apologize when they mess up, and yet they have power, they have money? So it's not just about power, in other words, like other authorities think. It's actually the fact that we don't talk about it a lot. And I have to say it's getting better in the workplace as policies become better, and in homes as parents, want to connect with their kids. So I want to hope those that have been left behind. And here goes. So, one, why is apologizing important? Why should we do it? And I'm just going to give you a list, you guys, and sue me if you think any of these are wrong, but I believe and morally back most of what I'm going to say. Actually, I believe and morally back what I'm going to say. So, number one is that apologizing builds trust. People respect those who own their mistakes, whether it's employees, whether it's children, whether it's friends. A sincere apology reassures them that you value honesty and accountability, and that they can trust you to do the right thing when it's required of you. And then two is that it strengthens relationships. A heartfelt apology can repair damage before it becomes irreversible. When people see that you are willing to acknowledge your errors, they feel more valued and respected. It's better to apologize and strengthen a relationship other than having your kids scarred forever or losing a good employee, which can all just be, avoided by simply having the sorry part done with. And then three is that it sets an example. If you are a leader, people follow your example. If you are a parent, your kids learn from you. If you never apologize, they might grow up thinking admitting mistakes is a sign of weakness, or worse, the cycle continues and then they do it to their kids, and essentially these are your grandkids. So you're going to see your kids mistreating your grandkids, something like that. And for those that are not yet sold on this yet, the cost of not apologizing are also a few that I can give you. So avoiding an apology might make you feel like you are maintaining control, but in reality, it creates these long term issues. One is the resentment that builds. So people may continue working with you, but they will never forget how you made them feel. You see, and over time, it leads to this disconnection and distrust that is prevalent, unfortunately, in most of the workplaces that, okay, not in most of the workplaces, but in some. Okay. And then two is the loss of authority. Ironically, refusing to apologize makes you look weaker, not stronger. Like people think that, if I don't apologize, I am this Superman. No. People respect leaders who acknowledge their flaws and then grow from them, not guys that are going to be ignorant. Okay. That didn't come out well, but I hope you get what I'm saying. And then three is that you become unapproachable. If you never admit when you are wrong, people will stop giving you honest feedback, which means that you will miss out on crucial opportunities for growth. If you become unapproachable as a parent, you will then start to wonder why your child doesn't talk to you, why they don't come to you when they have problems, because they know you don't you don't apologize when you're wrong. It creates that drift, yeah, just because of the resentment and everything that is involved with all these things. When emotions are involved, humans just literally break or fall apart. The whole relationship just falls apart. So these are the 6 points. So the pros for apologizing and then the cons for not apologizing. And let's play around with some of the scenarios I had prepared for you so that we can maybe just try to drive this home. So, scenario one, which is a workplace leadership example. So, imagine you are a manager and in a high pressure moment, you criticize an employee publicly for a mistake. And then later you realize you misread the situation, it wasn't even their fault. And just also imagine that if you don't apologize after realizing that, you know what, you messed up, that employee, what happens to them? They begin to be disengaged, they lose motivation, or they can even quit. Now, if you pull them aside and say, hey, Raymond, I was wrong to call you out like that. I should have gathered the facts first, and I am really sorry about that. Just that simple apology of, you know what, you acknowledge it and then you apologize for it and then you chat away forward. It changes everything. The employee now knows that you are fair, you are accountable, and you make them more willing to follow your leadership. So in this case, apologizing in a leadership role doesn't weaken your authority. It actually strengthens it by showing emotional intelligence, by showing empathy. All of these are honorable traits in being a good leader. And then, scenario two, the parenting example. And I'm sorry for using this example. I don't mean to be disrespectful to any parent out there or my own. I am just saying kids notice these things, they remember them, and you lose nothing by being aware of how your actions and reactions are affecting them, and then maybe fixing that. So let's talk about it. Okay, picture this. You come home from work, you are exhausted, just pile it all there. And then your child accidentally spills juice on your laptop. In frustration, you snap at them, saying something hurtful. A few minutes later, you cool down, and then you realize they were just being a kid, they honestly slipped, or it was your fault in the first place for putting your laptop at the dinner table. That's not a work desk. So, a parent who never apologizes may just move on, assuming the kid will forget. But if you sit down with the child and say, I overreacted, I should not have raised my voice like that. I am sorry. I love you. Junior, hmm? Don't worry, I am very sorry. You are then teaching them emotional maturity and respect. And in contrast, again, apologizing as a parent doesn't diminish your authority. It actually models responsibility, it models emotional intelligence for not just your kid, but the next generation, for their friends. And it communicates security for your child, love, everything a good parent ought to be. And now that we have played out two scenarios that, yes, I am biased, I used, but I believe they have driven the point home. Okay, in general, what's an apology and how do you do it effectively? Now that we have the scenarios in our minds painted well. A proper apology, I should say, isn't just about saying sorry. And here is a simple framework to guide you. One is to have an acknowledgement of the mistake. So, acknowledge the mistake. I was wrong when I did X. That's acknowledgement. Two, take responsibility. I should have handled it differently. And then three, express genuine regret. I feel bad for how it affected you. And then finally, make amends. I will ensure it doesn't happen. So it sounds something like this. The first part is you acknowledge the mistake, and then you take responsibility for it and express genuine regret. After you have done that, you make amends. So it sounds something like this. I was wrong when I did X. I should have handled it differently. I feel bad for how it has affected you. So that's expressing genuine regret. And then to make amends, I will ensure it doesn't happen again. I was wrong for what I did. I should have handled it differently, or I shouldn't have done that. I feel bad for how it affected you, and I will ensure it doesn't happen again. That's literally what a good apology to anyone would be. If my ex came and gave me that apology, I would grab her, I would twirl her around, I would kiss her and take her back. You know? Anyway, just avoid saying things like, I am sorry if you felt that way. That's literally not an apology. That's deflecting blame. It's subtle, but in cases where it's a grown up, and let me say it's like at work, they will catch it. Kids may not be able to, but grown ups will definitely catch it when they feel like you are shifting blame to them. They will instead actually get more defensive, and the effort you would have tried to maybe by apologizing would have been in vain. Writing all this, I feel like I am being naive, but I guess that's the advantage of being young. But I also understand that sometimes we don't even realize when we need to apologize. So, here are some signs that I hope will help indicate this, because it's complex. Everything that involves feelings is complex. So, signs to know when you should apologize. One, when people become distant or disengaged. If someone's attitude towards you shifts suddenly or unsuddenly, consider whether your actions might have hurt them. That's a clear sign that, you know what, something is wrong here. I need to investigate. And then two, you replay the situation in your head. This is a classic for anyone that has wronged anyone else. If you keep thinking about something you said or did, there is a chance your consciousness is nagging at you to make amends. And I am also going to nag at you, go and make amends. And then three, the issue keeps resurfacing. If people keep bringing it up, they keep bringing up past conflicts, it means they never got closure. An apology might be that missing piece, especially in relationships. Yes, so like we said, apologizing doesn't make you weak, it makes you a better spouse, a better leader, a better parent, and a better person. It builds that trust that you need, it strengthens your relationships, and sets the right example for everyone around you. So, the next time you find yourself hesitating to say, I was wrong, I am sorry, remind yourself this. Remind yourself that the strongest people in the world aren't those who never make mistakes, but those who own them and they grow from them. And that's the kind of society we want to build on this podcast. So, for everyone listening, thank you for listening to another episode of the 5 to 9 Job. I hope this stuck with you and you think strongly on whether you have an apology you have been holding back. But please like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Otherwise, keep becoming better, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm Raymond from the 5 to 9 Job. Bye bye.